Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wargaming.net Gold League. I'm Joshua Clutch Gray, joined on the set by Rukil, Randall Rukil Holcomb. We're going to be locking down every fight, every match, every battle for the next 3 weeks. And you can follow us on Twitter if you guys have any questions about the tanks, the pros, comments, anything. You can follow me on Twitter at Clutch08. He is at Rukil. And also, we've been giving away some stuff over Twitter if you follow us at WGLNA. And the next tweet that we have comes from Weathercraft. It says, "My New Year's is to play smart and win. In other words, play WGLNA smart."
Oh.
Hashtag 2014. Well, since you're going to play so smart, we're going to have some smart gold for you. 2,000 gold, 7 days of premium, and 200,000 credits. You can use that to jumpstart those new Japanese tanks that have just been released, and I really like the Cheery, man. Oh my gosh, the quick reload.
The Cheery?
The Cheery, man. I
so
love it.
It's a happy tank.
Yeah, it is a happy tank when I play it. I had a lot of fun playing that with the Simp guys. But go ahead and keep following us on Twitter, guys, at WGLNA. We'll give more of those codes out throughout the night. Next matchup, No Limit versus Simple Tankers. We'll have them on face-off in just a second. No Limit, they're back. They're back from Season 2. Simple Tankers, top 4 in Season 1 and Season 2. These guys have performed very, very well. Mournblade and the Pershing.
Just a god at it.
A god.
Although at the end he started playing the Tiger too, which was really weird. He did well.
It was a handicap. They're like, we're winning too much, guys. We want to give him a chance, maybe.
Yeah. Well, actually, he performed decently well because he got a buff. It kind of, well, a lot of German tanks got a buff. They got a lot of rate of fire buff on the 88, and what else? Just a lot of other stuff. Just a really good performing
I want to
tank.
try it
now.
out. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you appreciate something that much more when you go off and try something else and you realize, wow, I'm missing what I'm used to. I'm missing the Pershing.
Beautiful
So
tank.
hopefully we're going to see that with Mournblade. Let's go ahead and check in with the two captains for No Limit and Simple Tankers in our face-off. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yo.
What's going on, guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2014 into Season 3 of the Gold League. No Limit, Floppy Giraffe, a name that we'll always love. Welcome, sir. Welcome back. You're back from Season 2. What has No Limit been up to prepare for Season 3?
Well, unfortunately, we've just been scrimming as much as we can. I had a couple changes, you know, losing some players and adding some new ones, so we're getting ready, obviously, so set to hit the season tonight.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing both your teams perform, but tell us a little bit more what the process was to find some new players. Was it difficult to find people? I imagine it wasn't difficult to find people that were interested, but how did you rate and judge the people that you selected?
We had a couple of guys that I brought in, asked them to try out, you know, see what they wanted, see how they played, how they reacted with us, if they fit in with us, you know, they didn't do anything stupid, or, you know, we saw potential in it. So ended up adding a couple guys from Havoc, Compton, and Mexi Bean. So a couple other guys, you know, a lot of changes actually.
Well, we've seen a lot of roster changes happen for a lot of different teams here, and that's the name of the game. You evolve, you find the weaknesses, you find the strengths, you hold on to the strengths, and you change the weaknesses. But I'm sure we're going to see you guys perform very well this season, but you're going to be up against some tough opponents, and that's Simple Tankers. Jay Smooth, welcome back. Season 3, you guys performed very well in Vegas. Top 4 once again. You took some money home. What's it like to be back here in Season 3, and what have you guys been doing to prepare?
Well, it's good to be back. As always, top 4 finish. Our New Year's resolution is hashtag better than 4th place. So that's what we're going for. We've been, just practicing like everyone's been saying. It's been tough because of the holidays. We lost a couple guys due to school. They need to focus more on school, so we picked up a new guy today, and you'll see another one in a week.
Right on. Well, school is tough. A lot of people are young and still in school. I'm glad I graduated when I did. But sometimes you just got to make those sacrifices. And sometimes it's sacrificing playing tanks to study, and sometimes it's the other way around. But Jay Smooth, you have to make a lot of sacrifices as a team leader since Junior left. Has that been weighing on you, or are you used to it now? Do you feel comfortable in that role of being a team leader?
Yeah, I mean, I led a Clan Wars clan since the start of that for a long time, so I'm used to that, putting in the time. But obviously, this pro team is a little bit different, a little bit more demanding because there is money on the line. I don't like wasting people's time. So if we're going to have a practice, I want to have it and get it done. I don't want, people to show up and not be, and something be called off because we're short guys. So I ask a lot from these guys, but I think we've melded together. We've been here 3rd season, so we're getting used to it.
We're going to go ahead and see if No Limit Floppy Giraffe has any words for Simple Tankers before we start this matchup.
You're gonna pay, all I got is you're gonna pay for stealing my Asian. That's all I got.
Care to elaborate a little bit more on that, Floppy Giraffe?
Unfortunately, we started it, like I said, we had a couple changes. We went into this season. It was going to be Tofu Smurf and I leading the team, and eventually Jay Smooth over here poached him from me, so we're going to make Tofu realize he picked the wrong team tonight.
All right, Jay Smooth, now with Tofu Smurf on your team, do you have any words for No Limit before we start this match?
Well, like I said, he had to wait a week. Tofu can't play this week, so he's going to be watching with anticipation to see how his new team performs, and it's going to be good. I just wish you guys would put T-Pain on the camera once in a while.
T-Pain. I'll tell him next time.
Civil Tankers, you have the higher seed, heads or tails for the coin flip.
Well, I always call tails, so let's keep it there.
All right, tails is the call, and it's heads this time. No Limit, map choice or defer?
Let's defer.
Defer,
all
Simple
right.
Tankers. What will be
We're
your
going to go Ents.
Ants will be the map choice for Simple Tankers. Spawn point, No Limit.
South side, please.
South side for No Limit on Ensk. Simple Tankers will take the north. Gentlemen, welcome back to Season 3. It's great to see you, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Clutch.
All right, and there we have it. Tofu Smurf now exclusive, been announced.
Yeah.
He's left No Limit, and now he's on the side of Simple Tankers.
It's an interesting pickup. We've had him here to cast before.
I know, and I want him to come back, but his schedule's all, busy playing tanks, which I completely understand. But we need to go to, Brazilian Steakhouse. He's supposed to take us to.
Brazilian Steakhouse?
Yeah.
There's a Brazilian Steakhouse
He
over?
told us there's one close.
Wow.
Maybe not in Rancho Cucamonga, but somewhere close.
I mean, the LA area. I
Yes.
don't consider it that far a drive. It's like an hour into
I drive
downtown?
to LA all the time for all sorts of things, and it does weigh on you a little bit when you drive that far. It's over a little over
It's all
an
about
hour.
timing. It's all about timing.
It's all about timing. It is, and it's all about Spotify on a phone, and it's all about timing because traffic. Oh man. Anyways, but yeah, you guys have seen Tofu Smith on the desk. He's very, very talented when it comes to playing tanks. He knows what he's talking about, and hopefully we can see him again on camera. And I look forward to how he's going to perform. Unfortunately, we have a rule set on the team transfers that they cannot play for the first week, and they cannot play until the second game of week 2 for the team.
But did he get on for early enough to beat that rule? Was he an early enough addition?
I'll have to speak with our account manager to find out.
Because I heard about him changing over. I didn't remember what team it was, but I remember hearing about him changing over quite a while ago.
Well, for Nerve, they could not use. Was it Nerve? Just the Reeser roster changes. Yeah, they could not use the gentleman from Turtle Police.
The Lord Commander?
Yes, they could not use Lord
okay.
Commander, Apio, or
Protector of the Realm.
a Pyro or Protector of the Realm.
Yeah.
I believe they could not use them until the second game of week 2.
That
because
is
of the roster
that
changes.
is a real handicap. Just not getting your roster together quick enough.
It is, but it does allow some of the guys that play the bench to have that experience of playing in the pro scene, in the gold scene.
Yeah, but that lack of experience, them having to wait until the whole second week.
It's tough. And it's tough. It's a tough decision to make as a captain too, because do I want these guys? Yes, but look at what it's going to cost me, and it could potentially cost me the group points I need to make it to the finals.
Yeah, just got to get that team together quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not presented with very many choices, and you have to make a choice that maybe is going to hurt now, but in the long run will be beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, and there are going to be teams that have full rosters right now that are going to lose like 1 or 2 people even at the beginning of this for one reason or another: school, work, real life, you know, just other problems, or maybe just not working well with the team. And they have to drop them, but then they're down from their max 10 to less than that, and that could really hurt because that's actually really killed Wreak Havoc, for example, losing some people that they really needed.
It is tough. It is tough. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into this game in less than 90 seconds now. They have the tank choice going on Ensk. And Ensk was the map that Team Dignitas versus that Team Germany is where it really started to change around because the German team had it. They had it in the bag, and then they started fighting in between the buildings. I'm like, no, what are you doing? And it fell apart, and then Team Dignitas came back. Team Ukraine came back and won it. So I don't want to see that type of engagement here in America, guys. We can do better than that.
Wusa just was caught out of position.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. We're all talking about games that you guys you'll have to go back and watch.
This was the international fight. This is stuff happening right after we were done in Vegas for Season 2. Tanks was still going on in the international scene in China for the World Cyber Games, which is the Olympics of esports.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for over 10 years. And they've had multiple games on there. Wargaming brought on World of Tanks as a promotional title last year. This year, they were one of the official titles, which is really cool because it is huge internationally. It really is.
Yeah, being free to play is what really did it for World of Tanks. I don't
of
think it
course.
would have. It couldn't have got to WCG without the popularity that being free to play got it. Well, actually, yeah, that's it.
Free to win.
Free to win.
Free to win. That's
Yes.
what everybody's doing. And they are winning when they're playing World of Tanks. Go ahead and jump into battle number 1 of match number 3 for tonight. No Limit versus Simple Tankers. The map is Ensk.
Taking a look at these tanks, we have a 110, 2 and 3
Powerhouse.
AMX 5100s along with an IS-3 for the side of that is that's got to be No Limit. That's No
That is
Limit
the
in the
side of
blue.
No Limit.
Yep, Simple Tankers though. A 110 AMX 5100 IS-3 and 2 Waffentragers, Waffles, and they're going to be mounting the 150 on there. So be on the lookout for that.
Now, the 150 is the lower velocity one?
Yeah, lower velocity, huge alpha, same gun you get on the E100.
It's the one I've been playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slow, but when it hits, it's like a freight train.
Yep. It's a massive
It's like
gun.
a wrecking ball.
And then the 128 is the same gun that they mounted on the mouse, for example. You can get it on the E100, but just throwing it out there. That's the traditional mouse gun.
Durasta leading the charge in the T1. He will be proxy scouting, kill Panic. Right through the building. He can hear the engine through the glass and the children's screams for help in this.
I don't think anyone's here, Clutch.
I don't think so either. But
Look
if
at
they
those.
were, it looks like a school or a
Or-
saloon.
It's kind of a suburb. Like
Yeah,
not a
there's schools in
there's
suburbs.
like it's
When you're
little-
35 and you're looking for a place to live, your wife's going to ask you, how are the schools in the area? And you're going to think, I don't know. And that's why you got to go to Google and find out.
yeah.
Static in the back in the 50-100. Staying back. These guys are playing really, really... I don't want to say defensive, but they are. They're not poking out too far.
It's a conservative.
It's conservative, exactly. And the T1's the one that's scouting for them.
Well, you've got Mornblade and J Smooth looking down the one line. So if anything pokes out there, it is going down very quickly. Just a lot of damage waiting to happen. And the Waffle has a 400-meter view range. And if I take a look at their equipment on their tanks, J Smooth has optics, Mornblade has optics. They're seeing out to the wall. They're seeing the max possible view range, about 435. And that's on a map like this, it's very small. They're going to spot some people at great distances. And with IS-3s and 5100s on your team, along with 110s, you're going to be in a bad place. And I'm expecting to see maybe a one-line push coming up. Scroll tag getting spotted.
Now this is a push. Sealer Defiler of Seals. The 5100 takes a big hit to the front. The IS-3 trying to cover his tracks. Compton 310. He's going to go around the corner. What's he going to see? It's a T1. He lines up the shot and gets it. And the first to fall is Kill Panic.
But Sea Otter Defiler Seals is down to 670 hit points already. Zakume takes a hit in response, but he's at half health. He's a one-shot from one of these Waffles if they get the chance. But here comes Squirrel Tag and Urtai to put shots onto Ruthven Carlisle.
Ruthven Carlisle bounces a shot from Compton, but Sea Otter and Urtai are trying to focus him down. Squirrel Tag gets the kill against Ruthven Carlisle. Compton 3-1-0 takes down Zakumi. And Pub Whisper, the 5100 is on
But
his
Mornlane's
own.
coming in, and he puts out a shot onto... I don't see it. It connected. It did not connect. He didn't go for Sea Otter Defiler Seals or Static. Now J Smooth may have a shot onto Static. These Waffles not working out for Simple Tankers.
Not up against 5100s, especially two of them. Nice shot from J Smooth, but Static still lives, 92 HP. And with that long reload time of those Waffles, of those Rumbas, it is not enough for them to have that consistent damage. And No Limit's going to clean this up, perhaps not even losing a tank.
Wow, just tank choices, man. They made this really weird tank choices at the end of Season 2. Doing it again.
Well, and these TDs, the choice of TDs on this map is difficult to make because there's not that much distance. This is a corner map. This is turning corners and locking down alleyways. This is not long-distance firing except down the railroad track, but that wasn't happening for either team.
Yeah, but and also you have to remember they have great alpha, but you have to make that work for you, and they just didn't have anyone in the right position. It's just a positional thing. They didn't have anyone ready for that push. They lost some tanks to crossfire, and they weren't able to get that damage on target fast enough. And by the time they did, the Waffles were the focus. They had no one to draw the attention away from them. They didn't get to use. It just didn't work out. Just not working.
Squirrel tag, trying to line up a shot against Pub Whisper from long distance. Urktai, not able to get a hit. Compton does, and Squirrel tag is able to clean it up. And that's going to be a victory for No Limit in battle number 1.
No Limit looking pretty solid this time. Simple Tankers. I think that lineup really hurt them.
2 tank destroyers. 2 of them.
No, tank destroyers with no armor, tank destroyers that are incredibly light, and tank destroyers that aren't quite in the right position.
You know what they can do?
What?
Their turret can go all the way around.
That's magical, isn't it? Ooh, magic
It's the
turrets.
first thing I noticed when I was playing the rumba, the waffle, as you like to call it.
Yeah.
I went, it goes all the way around.
Oh, magic, a tank destroyer.
Even though my vision is mostly just this right in front of me. But it is a cool tank. It is a cool tank that has been added, and I've had a lot of fun playing it in pub games, 7x42 games. I think
it's hard to make it work.
maybe on Prohorovka.
The thing is, you have to be able to get more than one shot off. Because the thing is, when you peek out with a soft tank like that, you're gonna have trouble. Just playing peekaboo games. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna take hits. You're so soft. Anyone can load HE and pen you. An IS-3 5100 could load a 5100 with all HE would just eat Roombas all for breakfast, lunch, and then dinner leftovers. But it's just a soft tank. T1s can pen it. T1 Cunninghams can pen the thing with ease.
What about Cliff? We did see 1 tank destroyer being used in the qualifiers, I believe, of Season 2. That was effective.
Maybe.
But
maybe in Cliff.
only
but
because he was able to destroy 2 1390s that were chasing him down the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, a Yag Tiger, though.
Well, I still throw up the possibility to the pros to see what they can unleash with the waffle, but that scenario we knew.
More an open
2.
map thing.
Don't bring 2. It's like bringing 2 arties to a shootout.
Yeah, and
Don't
there's a little rule that I've always kind of thought of, which is don't have a tank destroyer in a city. Just tank destroyers don't belong in cities. If you have one corridor locked down and other people have it locked down, like 50v15, a tank destroyer is fine. But when it comes to you needing to turn your turret, usually mobility is a problem. Just the Roomba's a little weird tank. I just called it the Roomba. You're conditioning me. I prefer the waffle.
That's what I do. I condition people. All right, well, the next battle is going to be on Cliff, guys. And what does that mean? Well, what we saw earlier is we saw a Western play, a Western push that proved to be fatal for the team that went for it. Soviet in that 1390. Don't get in his way. That's what happened.
Just don't get on the low ground. You need the high ground in order to win on Cliff. You got to take the middle.
If there's one thing we learned from the prequels of Star Wars, if you have the high ground, you're going to win.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I learned from those prequels. and
Yeah.
how having people around you to say no to your ideas to keep you humble makes for better art rather than yes, 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 yes.
And also midi-chlorians clutch. You learned about those.
Snap this pen in half.
Worst idea
So I love
ever.
World of Tanks because it's based on sound principles of fighting and things that make sense. All right, so it looks like we're just about ready for the tank selection. Pershings, AMX 1390s, nothing too crazy here. This looks like it's going to be a standard play from both these teams, but they could change it last minute. We don't know yet. We're just waiting for the final confirmation to jump into the game. It's so good to be back on the desk, man. It's so good to be back on the desk.
I love it.
Fun watching tanks.
Good to be back.
Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 2. It is between No Limit versus Simple Tankers. No Limit is up 1-0.
Taking a look at these tanks, we've got a Pershing, a T-69, and 3 1390s for the side of No Limit. For the side of Simple Tankers, we got 2 Pershings and 3 1390s. So consistent fire going to Simple Tankers.
Consistent fire, but just the one tank difference of the T-69 and the Pershing is you have a little bit more mobility, maybe slightly bit more firepower, but the same view range. And Cliff, view range is going to be important after the fact. after that mid-range battle, when you have some people going around the donut side, maybe across the east side. But this is going to be what? A split coming out of Simple Tankers.
It's a good way to play it. A split is a very strong way to do it because here's the thing. Oh, wow, actually damage going out on Executus or for some reason. Oh, that's Kill Panic, I guess. He got hit by one of his battle buddies. But these guys are going to be able to take the west side, and they're going to be able to put Crossfire on the position of No Limit. If they can actually climb the hill, guys. J Smooth has a little trouble with that. That delay could actually hurt because Pub Whisperer is in the middle and the map, and there are, I think, 3 1390s waiting for him. Squirrel Tag and the Pershing is taking up a really cool position, actually. We should take a look at that. That gives great cover fire to the west and to the east. It's just super cool to see.
He is right in this section here. It is a hold down position for the Pershing.
Being able to get there is important too, and it's a little bit risky to get there early, but he's going to put shots out towards Pub Whisper as J Smooth looks for shots on Urtai or Static. He's not able to make any connections though. Oh, and a connection on him actually. Sea Otter Defiler of Seals makes a connection. Second one, actually, he looks to be firing AP rounds from the tracer. It looked like AP.
I believe you're right. J
Yeah.
Smooth fell back as one of the shots.
So they're actually
Move
bringing
closer.
AP rounds on Sea Otter Defiler of Seals. That's very interesting.
Well, the T-69 had that heat difference of penetration.
Yeah, and
But what is more penetration, the AP rounds or the heat rounds?
well, the heat rounds up 250, which is great for range, but they fizzle against tracks. But you've got about, I think it's 160 about on the AP rounds. I almost never look at them because you just don't use them much.
Everyone loads premium.
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
is.
But there looks to be a flank from the east.
That's right. Static leading the charge in the 1390. Around the east is going to focus fire on the Pershing, the 1390s. It looks like somebody was listening in Season 2 for that type of approach. And Sea Otter Defiler of Seals is going to take a lot of the brunt damage. That's going to allow Static, Urtai, and Compton, 310, to get the hits against Pub Whisperer. Couple misses, though. They're going to need to focus fire a little bit better. But here comes J Smooth and Executus pushing in to try to reinforce this position. And Compton's going to fall. Static and Urtai now maybe just about out of shots. And Squirrel Tag and the Pershing's a little bit too far out to try to help.
Yeah, and now they're reloading. Static's going to try to get away, but Executus is chasing him down. Gets the last hit. Urtai trying to put shots on Executus, but Urtai is going to take hits as Squirrel Tag finally joins the fight. He's a bit late to this party.
He is, and he's going to focus on Executus as Urtai falls back to the 1390. Squirrel Tag's going to take a lot of fire from all three sides. Lining up another shot against Executus. He does hit for 233, but he falls. Now only one tank left alive is Urtai compared to the 4 Tier 8 still left alive. He takes a shot to the front as he backs up in the 1390. Pershing from Zakumi tries to push up again, and Urtai is in trouble with 8 seconds left for the flag cap. 5 seconds left now for the blue team. Simple Takers to tie up the series. Urtai is close. He's going to go for it. Shot fired, and will he fall to the T1s?
Too late.
Too late, and the base is captured. Simple Tankers takes battle number 2.
Just better. It was a cool flank, but the thing is they didn't bring in Squirrel Tag.
Yeah, they didn't bring a Squirrel Tag, and they missed one of their shots at least. And J Smooth and his compadre were able to move in, sweep in, get that focus fire.
Yeah.
5-on-3, who's going to win, Rookhill?
Well, 5.
5. That's
I would,
math, folks.
I would hope 5.
Ruse Clues teaches you basic principles of tanks. You got to know your arithmetic. 5 is greater than 3. That's what happened.
Yeah. Math. That's math.
I was hanging out. I was hanging out with a friend of mine one day,
Yeah.
and we were talking about geometry or algebra and how it had letters. And he meant to say it's with letters. He went, "Man, that's math with numbers."
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
What were you guys doing?
We were 16 having fun in
Uh-huh.
Kansas watching anime, actually. Van Helsing anime. Long time ago. Oh, my gosh, 16. Let's go ahead and jump to the replay, guys, showing that engagement of what went wrong for No Limit. Again, good East play, but look at where their enemy is. They're up on the mountain. They have to go up to match the engagement. And here, the T-69 does push in to try to control the fire, but there's a missed shot right out of that 1390.
But the thing is, they also lose a T-69 right
Another
at the
missed
beginning
shot.
of this fight.
Yeah.
That losing that T-69 is huge. He's not able to get his shots out, and he's focused down, so you actually lose a tank at the beginning of the engagement. Now, Simple Tankers is actually able to return very easily, and as you can see on the minimap and off in this background there, Squirrel Tag is able to put some fire in there, but I don't think he's able to put his consistent fire and on the correct targets. That's a huge problem for No Limit, and it doesn't work out for him. They've got tanks now trying to scramble away, 1390 trying his best, but the thing is, at this point, it's really a formality. Simple tankers should have an easy time cleaning this up with a Pershing completely exposed.
That rocket, a file insurance claim for hit and run after getting hit by a 1390.
Yeah.
Pershing getting surrounded, and that's it. It's pretty much over for No Limit. And they're able to do it. Simple Tankers said, all right, guys, we showed you a little bit of some fun with the Rumbas, but we're going to play for real this time. And they did that on Cliff. And now the next map is going to be on Himmelsdorf.
Interesting change. We're going to a closed map this time. And of course first for No Limit, so I guess maybe they feel more comfortable on a city map than on something open.
They have a win on a city map, so
that's
why
just what
change?
I'm gathering here from the teams, because generally people have like a preference. They have a preference for open maps, or they have a preference for city maps.
What's your preference?
Open maps. I'm a scout. I mean, that's the thing. I played scouts, so I'm much stronger on those than on heavy tanks. I'm good at heavy tanks. I'm good. I'm passable, but I'm really much better scouting things out. It's just my groove.
As a T-32, I feel I'm in the engagements a little bit better in city maps, but on open maps, I still feel that I can perform a role, as we've seen more tanks do, especially in Prohorovka.
Yeah, the T-32 is a really strong all-around tank. It has a presence on almost every single map. Himmelsdorf, generally you can say there are stronger tanks to bring, but...
and I would agree with that, too.
Yeah,
I mean, you have advantages of the IS-3s and the 5100s that a T-32, in a specific scenario, in a specific type of play or plan, awesome.
Yeah.
But in some other scenarios, you have to admit, and that's what a tank that has no cons, you have to admit, hey, sometimes there's a better tank for that role.
But the thing is,
he's a humble tank. There's no cons.
Yeah, there's no cons. But the thing is, the recent changes to Himmelsdorf would make you think that you could actually maybe bring a T-32 with the expanded holddowns. You could actually make it work.
It is possible. Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 3, folks. No Limit versus Simple Tankers in Himmelsdorf.
And taking a look at these tanks, we've got a 110, 2 AMX 5100s, an IS-3, and a Waffle driven by Static for No Limit. On the other side, you've got a 110, 2 5100s, an IS-3, and a 1390 for the side of Simple Tankers. So Simple Tankers taking a lineup that I've seen more on the public matches for 742.
I like how Static's saying, hey, you guys want to bring some waffles? All right, we'll bring some waffles on a city map. We'll show you how it's done.
Make it happen.
He talks in a Brooklyn accent, too, when he uses the waffle. It's just what he does, guys. I don't understand it. I just try to imitate it. Seattle Defiler Seal is going to be leading the charge over here to the west. And he's going to be circling the train station and going for the longer route. Really longer route.
Yeah. No, and just nice football lineup from Simple Tankers. They're just lining up along the G line now. It's real simple. It looks like they're actually going to send 1390 Executus to the hill. So they're going to use him to clear the hill and maybe rejoin the fight. Oh, shots fired.
Compton gets the first shot. He's up in the window section along that D line. Delta 5, Delta 4, right on that line. He gets that first shot against Pub Whisperer. Pub Whisperer's going to fall back and go, I don't want anything to do with that.
The 5100 is not so good in hold down. He took that right to the turret ring. That's going to hurt.
Durasta.
Oh. I hope he didn't have to burn a kit for that.
No, I don't think he did. Because it looked like it was right on the hole and not on the gun. So
well, it's right there. I think the left side is the commander, and a shot like that can break the turret ring and hit the commander.
That's a bad morning.
Yeah, it's really painful.
Well, Durasta and the T1 is going to be checking out the hillside, and we have 2 light tanks heading up that hill. Which of those tanks? Are they both the T1s?
It is Executus, like we were talking about before, and Mournblade.
Okay, so we have the 1390 cruising across that way.
So it's interesting. Mournblade's actually going to be in a T1 Cunningham. He's not in a Pershing on this one, like we used to see. So a little bit of a change up here. I didn't expect him to go to a T1. Executus looks like he's going to go spot down the D line, looking for maybe an IS-3. He might just spot him, and he does. Compton 310 is lit. Shots fired. Executus misses the first shot. Second shot will not go out, and he has to back off.
Durasta did spot Mournblade. Now he does see Executus. Well, he's probably from those shots as well. And a pullback coming from the red team, coming from No Limit.
That's a red team tankers? Oh, no, that is No Limit, yeah. Sorry, I got the colors mixed up for a second.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Seattle Defiler Seals is on the team No Limit,
There it is.
along with Squirrel Tag. 5100 coming across the way.
Mournblade looks like he's going to go for some spotting. Looks for it, not able to find anyone. Backing off. I kind of want him to get on the stairs over there. It's a really cool spot.
7 minutes and 28 seconds. Only damage being done is against Pub Whisperer, the initial shot. And we're going to have a bit of a no man's land across that courtyard section as both teams are standing ground on either side of the map.
The 1390 is looking to kind of reverse and maybe try and find someone.
Floppy Giraffe, what are you doing?
He's crazy.
He's out in the courtyard.
He's lost it.
Yeah. Does a little
He's gone
loop-de-loo.
bonkers.
Does a little loop-de-loo, and he's going to get out of there.
Never mind, this is a bad idea.
Well, I think he was trying to do some sacrificial scouting.
That's interesting scout run. Active scouting from a T1 Cunningham. Not used to seeing that so much. Usually it's passive. But, you know, do what you want.
Meta is changing. Meta is changing. Well, looking at now the shift over from No Limit, they have all of these tanks trying to cover now the tank alley section, and they're even indicating to each other, hey, let's not do the parking lot strat, which is not what we want to see.
Guys.
But they are planning for a hill push and a second flank from tank alley, and that's not the case yet. However, some of the tanks indicating that they're moving towards that tank alley, 2 of those heavies, but no commitment.
Yeah, just this weird kind of circle the wagons for No Limit, and not seeing really any action out of Simple Tankers. Not ready to move up. Kill Panic on the west side of the map is moving up the one line. He's getting there. He's hesitant though. He's not quite dedicating to a full-on push because there's no support. They've got no support for their T1 in the west.
Yeah, this turned into a defensive play against the hill, like I said earlier. Now Static in the rumba, in the waffle, he's
getting ready.
He's ready for any type of engagement, but it's not going to come his way. And when they get closer to the 5-minute mark, this is going to be tough for No Limit because they're the ones that are jumpy right now. They're the ones that are playing on the back foot. While Simple Tankers, because they peeked around that corner on the hill, it's their map control, and they're using that to their advantage because now they're pushing their tanks over to the west.
Yeah, they definitely do have that tempo set for this match. You've got a really reactive play out of No Limit. They're not able to get anything going. They're not forcing anything out of Simple Tankers, and Simple Tankers is taking advantage of this. I see people in the west. You got J Smooth moving up the west side of the 2 line. Up the 1 line is Pub Whisperer. And I guess they're going to try and go from the west side, although No Limit looks like they're going to try and take some, maybe something back, as it looks like they're trying to go down the 8 line.
This is that 5-minute mark where, hey, they're not pushing in. We're not seeing anything, guys. Let's make a move. Now they're going down Tank Alley. And if they're able to get across that courtyard, they could be in a good position to stop Simple Tankers from turning around and getting to their flag, allowing No Limit to get the flag cap and some initial damage against those heavy tanks.
Floppy Giraffe is spotted in the T1 Cunningham. A shot goes out from Executus on the hill, does connect, and that is a T1 advantage. With that, they actually don't see this 8-line push, though. They have no one in position to spot this. Executus could spot it out, but it's maybe not. He's not going to any position to spot this. They don't expect it at all. They might lose out to a fast cap.
Well, Urtai and Squirrel Tag pushing in. Nothing is there. They don't see anything. They're waiting. And now Urtai in the 110 could be leading the charge against that flag. They're not seeing anything. Go for it, guys. Get your T1 over there as fast as you can.
And they will. Looks like they might even go for screening the cap. Yep, 110s are going to move on past, force a fight somewhere away from this cap. They expect everyone's to the west, but little do they know, actually they should know, that 1390 is probably on the hill. And with that 24 seconds left on the clock, Executus is trying as hard as he can to get back. 22 seconds, I don't think he can make it as he runs over a tree, slowing him down just slightly. No, not going to be enough time, I don't think. Actually, there's a small window. There's a very small window he can do this.
Compton 310 and that IS-3 along with Sea Otter can stop them in their tracks. And a nice track shot against Sakumi. Ruthven Carlisle stops in his tracks too. Another shot against Sakumi. 2 seconds, 1 second left. Could they do it? Oh, looks like there's a slight reset. And it is almost captured. It's captured. No Limit. Able to take the game to a flag cap. Nice. Nice play by them. Again, that 5-minute mark is becoming so crucial to all these different teams. You have no more information being accessed. You are still playing according to what you saw 4.5 minutes ago. You have to make a move. They did. It was open. They're a little bit cautious, understandably so, when they turned that corner, but they had it.
Yeah.
And they got it.
Just
and
a
the
really
cap very
risky
well.
play. But you roll the dice sometimes, and you just win out of it. Your opponent's not covering the cap, And this is really strange. We've seen this a lot today, where teams are just kind of being on opposite sides, especially on Himmelsdorf, making moves and just happenstance missing each other. It's really just strange to see, because we get to see both sides.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. It's dramatic irony. That's what we call it, when the audience can see both sides, where the people on the stage, the players, can only see their side. So it's understandable that, yes, go for it, but they're thinking, we don't know where the enemy team is. This is too easy. This is too open. It could be a trap. But where Compton 310 was placed, along with that 5100 that was with him, Sea Otter, I believe, beautiful, beautiful play. Track shot, stop him, unload on Zakumi. Ruth Van Carlisle gets right behind him. He's in trouble as well, and there was enough time for them to get the cap.
It was really well screened. Just it's textbook right there. Yep. You got 3 guys on cap, you screen it with the other guys. Really well done. And the next battle is actually going to be on mines.
Yes, my favorite map.
Which,
and they have changed this map.
Yes, a little bit, right on that northeast part of the hill. And also, this will be the first time we see mines in WGL Season 3.
Yeah, even though it's day 1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you brought it up earlier. Might as well bring it up.
I know.
What other maps haven't we seen?
Have
we seen everything? Seen Cliff?
Saw Cliff, Steps,
Himmelsdorf,
Ruinberg. Now we're seeing mines. What 2 are we missing? Abby. We saw Abby.
I saw Abby. And then, and then we saw Prorovka as well.
Yeah, we've seen them all.
Now everything's
We've completed the set.
Yay.
Cool. All right, we're going to send out an extra special code then for people that tweet at us. But they also changed mines graphically.
Mm-hmm.
The brush and the grass is darker shades.
Really?
I
got to
think
look
so.
at your stream, so
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just your computer was dark, because I haven't got to play mines yet.
Okay.
I've played a lot of other maps, but not mines.
Yeah, the textures look different.
That's cool.
And
Just slight changes? It looked like there was some slight elevation changes on the hill. Like little areas were raised and lowered a little bit, just to make it so gun depression was a bigger factor. But you were on a Pershing. This was a replay you told me to watch earlier.
Yeah. Did you see that shot I made?
Yes.
Off the cliff?
Yeah.
If it only didn't bounce.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, we are just waiting for the tank selection to happen, guys. They had about 90 seconds, about 60 seconds ago, so about 30 seconds left on mines. But this is the type of map where we've seen all sorts of play. Back when people used Artie, we saw some great play with Bison, Team Bison, with the Cazadores. I love to mention that because it's one of my favorite memories from Season 1.
It's too bad the Bison's Tier 3 and nerfed now. It's not as effective.
Yeah.
It's proper for pubs, just not quite there for map for us in 742.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, the game is still evolving. And this meta and the changes are still evolving. And both these teams have to stay with it or even ahead of it in order to compete and to be the best in the world, not just in America. But we have the top 16 teams in America that are the best, and now we're going to find out who can take it. No Limit is one battle away. Let's go ahead and jump into it. No Limit versus Simple Tankers, battle number 4.
Taking a look at these tanks, we've got 2 Pershings and 2 T-69s and a WZ-132 for the side of No Limit. On the side of Simple Tankers, we had 2 Pershings, 2 1390s, and a WZ-132. Very interesting change to the meta. We're seeing both teams going for an early game with the WZ-132. Checking the guns, both of them have brought the 85, so they're going to be firing heat out of these, which I'm expecting to see 1 or 2 fizzles. Be on the lookout for.
Well, this is what we saw earlier, too, in qualifiers of bringing the 132 all the way up and engaging those 1390s that love to get in the center of the mines. And that's what we're going to see right here. WZ-132s crashing into each other. Static in the 132 is taking a lot of damage. J-Smooth fires, hits, Executus hit on his side.
But T-69s are coming up, and Squirrel Tag and Urtai put shots into J-Smooth. They're going to continue going up, but they're in a crossfire. So that's going to be really dicey. I'm expecting him to take a lot of damage, and there goes Static.
He does get one final shot into Pub Whisperer. He does fall, but these T-69s may have their work cut out for him. Well, no, not Airtie. He falls to Pub Whisperer. Now Squirrel Tag is on the run from Executus in that 1390.
But there's a Pershing 2-on-2 as Mornblade is focused down to 7 hit points. Sea Otter going in for the final kill. He will get that final shot. Zakume, though, is looking at him, and he does connect, taking Sea Otter to Fowler of Seals down to 228 hit points. He is not able to return fire, and Zakume is still at full hit points. One more shot does not quite get him. Not quite at 32 hit points. Sea Otter is able to live a little bit longer, but the 1390s and WZ-132 are going to come in and be able to support this, as there's only 1 Tier 8 left.
Compton 310 gets shot from the left and from behind. He is hurting. Zakumi still has so much HP. Another big hit from J-Smooth from far away. And now one more shot from Compton. He could take down J-Smooth, but no, Zakumi cleans it up. And only the T1s are left alive. Simple Tankers is going to tie up the series.
That was really decisive. Just very early decisive game. Just not enough tanks, I think, going right to the hill right at the beginning. Not enough 1390s to make that happen for the side of No Limit. That's just what happened. They didn't have the guys there, and they got torn apart, just one by one. And now it's over. GG.
And that's it. Simple Tankers ties it up. We are now 2-2, bringing us to battle number 5.
Wow, that's really strong performance out of J-Smooth in the WZ-132. Just doing 1,646 damage, making it work. Really making it work.
You sound surprised.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect it to do quite so well, but the 85 on the WZ-132 does so much DPM. And even though Static went down, he was still one of the higher performers on his team. He got 3 solid shots off before going down. Other players like the T-69s didn't get even close to as much damage. They got about 2 shots each off, and that just shows WZ-132 is actually maybe a strong choice for a map like this.
For the opening to get that high ground on the hill,
Yeah.
if you have a tank that can do damage, that can maybe even track what
Maybe.
they're trying to do and allow the T-69s to move in and get a couple shots, it's a strong possibility to use, but I believe that window is the strongest at the beginning of the game, and then after that, the WZ-132 wanes.
The
shrivels
counter to
before
that
the
is, though, in
1390.
your opening. You bring
Yeah.
an opening maybe towards the west, or you bring one that doesn't rely on you getting hill control right off the bat. Doing that, you can probably just counter out the WZ-132, and then it just becomes a really soft tank. Yeah.
Is a strong possibility. We're not going to take any breaks. We're going to keep going because I want to find out who's going to win this.
Sweet.
And we're going to jump into battle number 5 in just a bit. They have about 90 seconds to choose their tanks here.
What about the map? I still see mines.
I still see mines as well. Not sure if there's going to be a change yet.
Ruinberg will be the
Ruinberg
next
will
one.
be
I
the
see that
change.
typed in the little chat.
Okay, good. Because they could do the Crazy Ivan rule,
Switch
which
it around.
is still in place, correct?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
Would you please describe that for
the
us?
Crazy Ivan guys, we switch it around. If you lose on a map, for example, if Simple Tankers lost in their first battle, they lost on Ensk. If they wanted to go back to Ensk, they could switch sides, and only if they lost, play the map again, which is really cool.
But no map can be played more than twice, so you cannot play a map 3 times. So if that happened, they just keep switching back and forth on Ensk, and
That would be interesting, especially if we're really engaging ones. But the thing is, we want them to play more maps in the map pool because
some teams have better strengths than others, and the overall strength of the team should outmatch the other overall strength of another team.
Yeah, because we're seeing Simple Tankers performing much better on open maps. I'd expect they'd do very well if we got them on Prohorovka, for example. But No Limit seems to be winning on city maps. Just better positioning and actually capping on Himmelsdorf. Very interesting play out of that. That was surprising. But on Ensk, it was just an all-out brawl win. And also build orders. Just builds, better builds out of the side of No Limit. I think so.
Yep. We're actually going to need to take a break, guys, because the players are not ready yet. We were excited, but don't go anywhere. Go ahead and grab a drink of water. I know I'm going to need one here pretty soon. As we come back to the Wargaming.net Gold League right here in the United States of America. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back. The players should be ready in just a bit. We also had a tweet come at us. We want to give this guy a code. His name is Patrick Begley. It says, #2014, my New Year's resolution is to become a better World of Tanks player. Just started about a week ago, so I'm getting better each day. What better way to get better World of Tanks than to have some gold in your tank's pocket? And a little bit of credits.
Way to start. I wish we could have given him maybe one of those invite codes. Great way to start out your account if you can manage to find one of those. I know Alienware was giving one out a while back. You can find them all over the place, though. Invite codes to the game. We give them out. Well, Wargaming gives them out all the time.
I have a stack of codes in my apartment.
Are they the half ones where it's like one half is like you already have the game, and then the other half is the
I believe
invite
so.
codes?
There's a card that flips. I also
Yeah.
have a bunch of the activation codes or beta invites for the Xbox 360 edition of World of Tanks.
That was fun to test out. That was
It
really
was.
cool at
It was a really
E3.
good time. It was a really good time. All right, guys, go ahead and jump into battle number 5 on Ruinberg. It's Simple Tankers versus No Limit.
Taking a look at these tanks, we've got a French lineup from the side of No Limit. 3 5100s and 2 1390s versus a 110, 2 5100s, an IS-3, and a 1390. So really mobile. Just roll out, allons-y.
We'll see what it's like to have a revolution here in Ruinberg. I gotta work on my French accent.
Work on it. It can go places, Clutch. We know about you and your accent.
Oh, it can. It can. I played a French trapper in a story about Kansas when they had the trade line going up and down the Missouri River.
Huh.
It's pretty cool. Years ago, over a decade ago. I'm getting old.
In Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
You were in Kansas when you did this
Yes,
play
I did.
about Kansas?
I did. It's community theater.
What?
We all start from somewhere, Randall.
Indeed. How very Kansasian of you.
Kansian.
Kansian?
Uh-huh.
That's what it is? I was thinking, what is the word for a person from Kansas?
Kansian.
Okay.
Static in the 5100, crossing the way over to the Delta Village along with Urtai and Squirrel Tag.
But Compton's actually taking a hit on his open run. It looks like a number of, I don't know who quite got that hit. Must have been one of the 5100s or maybe Ruthven. I think a hit of that level probably would have hit from Compton.
Well, he's fallen back. 811 out of 11.
We better. Floppy Giraffe is actually out in the open. He's ducking for cover, and he's able to actually get there. Lucky him, as he is able to barely duck out. He's all running along the beeline now.
It's really hard to hide a giraffe, especially a floppy one.
Flopping around all over the place, being
Yeah,
exposed.
it's like, hey man, duck down, get behind some cover.
No, it can't duck down. He's just going to flop back up and
Yeah.
wave around. It's really noticeable.
It's really tough. Floppy giraffe getting behind the building though, going straight over. And this is going to be a turnaround though for Compton 310, as he's going to be in a defensive position at 1390 and try to stay right behind this rebel. Maybe, no, he's not going to be able to get a shot off on that angle, but he will be in some serious cover. And this is a prime position for Simple Tankers to tank that flag to the north.
Looks like they want it. They're lining up. Zakume looking to the southeast, looking across that F road. Ruth and Carlisle looking kind of northwest, but we've got 5100s. J Smooth, Battle Buddy, Pub Whisperer, waiting for a shot, looking to the east. They might go for some blind fire. They want to get that T1 out. They need to kill the T1. They know he's there. That's Floppy Giraffe. He's somewhere. Got to be spotting, ready to defend the cap, and they need to get him out in order to make that approach. If they can't do that, it's going to be too easy for No Limit to see that coming and then just return to defend.
So with the positioning of Simple Tankers, again, this could come down to a 5-minute reset. However, they are in the primed lock position to push forward. That one T1 down to the south, or that one 1390 down to the south, excuse me, in that bush, is in a good defensive position. But no push is going to happen from No Limit yet. Was he able to spot anything earlier, Randall?
I don't think so. I don't remember anything spotted in the south.
I don't see that he's spotted on my
but
map
he's
at all.
expecting it. He is certainly expecting it. He's set up for it. He knows there's a possibility. This is the window he's expecting it to come. And he actually decides that because they've moved a T1 to the south, that is Kill Panic. He's going to take over that spotting position. That's a good way to use the 1390. He's more mobile than those T1s. He can spot, cover. He has greater view range, so he'll spot things that the T1 might not spot on his approach or even in a passive position.
Sea Otter Defiler of Seals, waiting for that commitment coming out of Simple Tankers. Through the fire and the fog, he's trying to line up a potential shot that could stop Simple Tankers in their tracks from pushing up, but no commitment yet.
What does it look like No Limit's going for? They're very split out. They're just split up. We got guys in the north, guys in the mid, guys in the south.
Some sort of engagement in map control. If the engagement happens to the north, you have that one heavy tank. He looks like he may be coming up north. He is. And back over to that side, you have one of the light tanks that's in the center. He could come in for a flank on the crossroads. And shot fired from across the way. J Smooth. Not hit.
But Compton's down to 8-11 right now, and he's kind of trapped, actually. J Smooth is going to have to, he could be lining up a shot right now, but he'd also be maybe exposing himself. And so he actually backs off. This is actually a window for that 1390 to escape, and he is going to try to escape. Hug the red line, get as much cover as he can, get the distance, because distance is really going to help the 1390. Doesn't matter if you're on the move. Light tanks retain the same camo value as if they were sitting still, if they were moving. It's when they fire that things change. So distance is really strong for a 1390, and he hugs that red line. He's able to get out. Just barely.
Just barely. Just barely. If he would have stayed, that sun would have been setting on a red crimson tank of a 1390 of Compton, but he's getting out of there. Sea Otter Defiler of Seals, along with his teammates Squirrel Tag and Static, are going to stay up to the north side. No commitment yet from either team, but this is again that defensive play from No Limit, and worked out in the end when they switched over, went for the gamble. It's going to be tougher on this map because it's a longer of a journey to get all the way to that south.
Although, good on them for getting 1390 out. Being pinned in a light tank is super rough. You need your mobility, and they're keeping that 1390 mobile. It's very important. You can have a heavy tank can get pinned, and you can work with that. A light tank can get pinned, and it's really bad because he becomes a really poorly armed pillbox. I mean, you don't get to move very much, and you're going to have a lot of trouble trying to be in a close engagement. You need range and you need mobility. So keeping that 1390 out of that position is really a smart move by No Limit. They're going to be able to take this actually and go to the south, where they're going to have a huge overmatch on any well, I can see anything from out of Simple Tankers. They've only got a T1 down there.
Well, now they have the two 1390s, and they could push in and activate that trigger against that flag cap, which two things would happen. One, they would cover the T1 long enough for him to get a lot of those points and to stay alive. And two, the North could push in across the F crossroads and halt, if possible, Simple Tankers. But that is if Simple Tankers decides to turn around.
Oh, wow.
Simple Tankers could push up, and it looks like they're getting closer and closer to that flag on both sides at the same time.
We're going to have a base race, 1390s and T1s in the south, and heavy tanks in the north, IS-3 Zakume. And it looks like Ruth and Carlo in the 110 are going to get on cap, 5100s joining the fight. But 3 tanks are on the cap in the south. Kill Panic is taken down.
And those 3 tanks are going to stay there. Urtai could move over as a 4th tank. But those light tanks are taking the south side. That means less firepower to the north. And if Simple Tankers knows that, because of that 1T1, and now they're having another light tank come over, that 1390, they'll see that all those tanks, Executus, able to get the reset, but reset's happening on both sides here, 16 seconds before, now it's 35 to 25. Red base at the lower time clock. And
but
they have 3 tanks
Simple
there.
Tankers has gotten 2 tier 8s killed. It's going to make it very hard to stop the cap. Scroll Tag is the only one in position to do anything about this cap, and he's going to run out of shells very quickly. Victory's probably going to go to Simple Tankers on cap.
And that's because they had more firepower to the north. They knew that, and they used that to that advantage. As the hammer, they were able to drop it on No Limit. 2 more seconds left for the flag cap. 1 more will be a capture, as long as it is clear for those 7 seconds. And it is clear. Victory goes to Simple Tankers, and they close out this best-of-5 series, taking us to all 5 games in a 3-2 victory. This is the closest match we've seen so far tonight. Well fought from both sides, but Simple Tankers are the ones to close it out. That was close.
Yeah, real close. I thought the cap in the south was going to be successful because you only had that 1390 able to come back, but he was able to do work and do it well enough. But in the north, No Limit just... Oh, the 5100s went down so quickly, just so quickly. No armor there, no consistent fire, and they screened it. So just Simple Tankers playing a better cap pressure.
Very, very well fought from both sides. Simple Tankers does take the win, and they'll be taking home 3 points for the group play victory. We're going to take a break. We're going to take our halftime break, so stay tuned. We're going to have a little segment play for a little bit. Doesn't mean we're going anywhere, folks, because after that, it's going to be Refuse to Die. That's right, they're back from Season 1 against Top Tier, the team formerly known as T32 Best Tier 8 2013. And after that, for the last match of the night, it will be RU, #RU,
Yeah.
formerly known as
Balalaika.
versus the Googly Boppers, the qualifier #1 winner. Stay tuned. The Wargaming.net Gold League will return after this.